Good morning. Let's go on an adventure.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
At 6 in the morning?
We're leaving today for a trip to Sedona, but it's a school day, a work day. I'm super tired, and as you can hear, not feeling the best. So we've got to get the kids off to school, I've got to work, and somehow we've got to pack the RV. It's gonna be a good day. We are heading to Sedona for a week, but like I said, it's a work and school day, and we're not leaving until we pick the kids up from the bus after school. And we haven't packed yet. We're not driving all the way there. We'll stop somewhere along the way, but I've got a lot to do. In typical fashion for us, we are way behind schedule. We're supposed to be heading out right now. The kids have been home for a little while. I was hoping to already be on the road, but we're not done packing yet. We're not gonna make it all the way there tonight. The idea is to make it most of the way there, or like half the way there, sleep somewhere along the way, and then get up so that we can get to the campground by noon. 6 o'clock, only an hour and a half after I wanted to leave. Probably still sooner than I thought we would leave. So, hi, sweetie. We're off. I know we forgot something. What did we forget?
Children?
If you're not here, say me.
Me.
All right. Well, we made it as far as Barstow. We're gonna stay at a Love's in the camper. It's cold. All right, it's about 4 in the morning. So, got about 2 hours of sleep. Just getting some gas in the car and making our way to Sedona. One of my favorite parts about driving on the interstate eastbound through the mountains is the pre-dawn colors. And I say pre-dawn because the second the sun comes up over the horizon, it can get pretty brutal because you're driving straight at it. But until that moment, it's pretty spectacular. I'm finally done working for the day. It's the nicest day that we've got here, but we're all super tired. So we're not gonna do anything crazy. We're just gonna go do some scenic driving and maybe some very, very light hiking. Get dinner, something. The first of our series of recommendations, particularly if you're only passing through or here for a short time, is the Redrock Scenic Byway, otherwise known as Highway 179, which you can access from 17. It takes you straight through the heart of Sedona's big buttes and iconic red rocks. There are a lot of shops and stores, restaurants along the route. It really is the fastest way to see all of the views that Sedona has to offer, and maybe take in some food on the side. For sure, one of my favorite things here is natural grocers. I know it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but they have a massive selection of vegan stuff, and it's just a whole bunch of things I can't find at home. All right, it has been a very long day and a half. We're gonna get to bed early and get up tomorrow morning and go to the Grand Canyon, so good night. Morning, about 6:30, way later than we usually sleep, but we needed it. Heading to the Grand Canyon today, do some hiking. First, we need some coffee.
And thanks to the Every Kid Outdoors program, we got to bypass all of this traffic. If you don't know about it, it's a program that allows all 4th graders and their families free admission to all national parks. I'll leave a link down below. All right, we finally made it to the Grand Canyon. We started off at Mather Point, which is where everyone starts, because you can basically get there from the parking lot. don't have to do a lot of walking, and you get a lot of the big views. Then we hopped in the shuttle bus and headed to where we are now, which is the South Kaibab Trail. It's still crazy busy if you don't get here early in the morning, which we didn't, until you get past some of the overlooks at the top. Well, it got crazy windy out of nowhere. She almost lost her hat.
Yep.
And fearing that I would lose mine, I took it off. So this officially makes our recommendation of things to do if you're in or near Sedona. Granted, it's a 2-hour drive from Sedona, but if you're gonna make it all the way to Sedona, it's worth coming here too. Don't be like us, get here early.
I would try to get there as early as you can. It gets very, very busy. A lot of the people kind of trickle away once you get farther down the trail. What I like about the trail is that you can kind of just go as far as you want. It's out and back. The trail goes all the way down to the bottom to the Colorado River. You aren't allowed to go all the way down and back in the same day. That would be very hard. We went down the trail for just over an hour and we got to this lookout called Cedar Ridge. When we got there, it got really, really, really windy. I mean, like very windy. We decided we didn't want to go down any farther, so we decided to turn around right there because of the wind. At the very beginning of the trail is really steep switchbacks, and that is going to be very, very crowded. But once you get down past the switchbacks, it gets less crowded. Some people turn around right there at the bottom. The trail's still pretty busy until you get to Ooh Ah Point. It's the first major lookout after the switchbacks. We got down to Cedar Ridge, and there were a bunch of people there, but it's a pretty large area, so we still had plenty of space to kind of be by ourselves. The way back up was very, very windy, and there were kind of some minor dust storms, so I didn't do a lot of filming on the way back up. The kids were a little scared, and understandably, it was kind of came out of nowhere. The cliff is right there, so you can also recommend walking the South Rim Trail from the South Kaibab Trail back to Mather Point. If you head the other direction, away from the Kaibab Trail past Mather Point, you get to the Geology Museum, which is also pretty cool, and it has this glass wall overlooking the canyon. All in all, highly recommend it if you're anywhere near the Grand Canyon. Again, if you're in Sedona for several days, you can take one of them and do a day trip.
After 9 miles of hiking in the Grand Canyon, we were all understandably pretty tired, so we took the scenic route back via 180 through Flagstaff, where we stopped at my favorite restaurant there for dinner called Cornish Pasty. Unfortunately, as soon as we sat down, Thing 2 said he wasn't feeling very well, so we cut dinner short and headed back to the camper.
Dinner was wonderful, but it has been a long day, and the boy is not feeling so hot. So we are on the way back to the camper.
Good morning. We slept in today. It's rainy, so most of our plans are kind of out the window. We're gonna have some coffee and rethink what we're gonna do.
Okay, so the problem is that it's Easter Sunday and raining. Nothing is open. Apparently that's not true.
The park is open.
The coffee shop's open.
The coffee shop's
Wildlife park.
the coffee shop's open.
The wildlife park is open.
We can go to a wildlife park in the rain.
It's not gonna rain all day.
It's not even raining right now.
Stop
It
being dramatic just for the video.
A few years ago, I was on a solo road trip for a bike race, and I was driving through Flagstaff, and I happened to find this coffee shop called Fire Creek Coffee, and I loved it. So ever since then, every time I've been in or around Flagstaff, I've made a detour to go and stop there. So we're headed to the Cottonwood location to check it out today. Well, that was anticlimactic. We went to Out of Africa Wildlife Park because the website said they were open, but because of all the rain, they are not. Technically, they're open, they're just not doing anything, so you can pay them money, but you can't actually see anything. On to plan B. Well, we're on plan A. First of all, we tried to go to a safari park. That was closed. And from there, we tried to go off-roading on Schnappley Hill Road. That was closed. We actually had some success going to an outdoor store to get new boots for Crystal. Then we went up to Airport Mesa, but the trail was super muddy, but it was still really nice. And the kids had a great snowball fight. want to kill some time and possibly your wallet, you could check out Talakapake Village. It is a massive tourist trap, but it is cool to look at. Everything in there is obscenely expensive and nothing that I really want to buy. But if you do find yourself there, I would check out the chai spot. We're just kind of going to give up and get some food. Oh, hey, no, absolutely not. While we were at the outdoor store picking up shoes and trekking poles, the owner or one of the workers there recommended that we do the Fay Canyon Trail. Said it would be a pretty easy hike, and on a day when it's kind of super muddy and kind of rainy, thought that was a pretty good idea. So here we are. This brings me to one of my favorite travel tips, which is if you are going somewhere and you don't know the area very well, ask a relevant local. So in our case, we wanted to find a good hike, so we asked the people who work at a local outdoor shop, and the recommendation does not disappoint. It's a good follow-up to yesterday's hike, which was pretty challenging, 9 miles in the Grand Canyon. It was a hard day for the kids, and this one's pretty easy, but still really cool. Well, that was fun. There was a cool little rock scramble at the end. The kids really liked it, and so did I. But it started to rain while we were up there, so we really had to boogie back because I don't really care about the rain, but the camera cares about the rain. Well, today didn't go according to plan, but that's okay. We still had a good time. The hike was fun, if wet. It was nice to get back here and kind of just relax and play some cards with the kids. But once again, it's bedtime. I actually have to work tomorrow. I'm not sure what they're going to do. It's going to be rainy again, but we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is a rainy Monday, but it's a work day for me, so it doesn't really affect me all that much. Crystal and the kids, though, it's a different story. Not really sure what the plan is for the day other than me working, but guess we'll play it by ear. Yeah, we walked in, it was daylight, and we walked out, it was dark. That's how long we spent in there. Another day that didn't go exactly to plan, but again, that's okay. We still had a good time. Still have a couple more days here, although I'll be working. It's time to go to bed. Good morning. It's another work day for me, and I got an email late last night, from my accountant saying that I was missing a bunch of documentation that I know that I sent in. So I'm in a last minute scramble to re-find all of that information. A lot of it I've got saved in a secure cloud location, so it shouldn't be that hard. The weather should finally be pretty nice today, but you never know here. I think the plan is for me to work. The kids are over at the pool and the lounge with my wife. And when I wrap up work for the day, I think we're going to go do one of the more famous Sedona hikes, Cathedral Rock, and then head up to Flagstaff for dinner. Well, if there's one fairly consistent theme with hiking in Sedona, it's that parking is very hard to come by. So you either need to get places very early, or take a shuttle, or hike a lot longer. In this case, the parking lot for the hike is closed for the trailhead. So they're offering a free shuttle service, but parking there is also full, and they've got signs and people making sure that you don't hang around waiting for someone to leave. So we decided, okay, well, we'll just pick a different hike. And we just drove down the road to the next trailhead and realized, well, if we just want to add 45 minutes there and back, we can still do Cathedral Rock.
So that's what we're doing. We're adding 45 minutes to each side of the Cathedral Rock hike.
Cathedral Rock Trail is pretty short in terms of hiking. In fact, I'd call it more of a rock scramble with 1 or 2 steep and climbing bits. Other than that, it's mostly just walking up some stairs carved into the rock. I'd recommend shoes that have a lot of grip, particularly if it's rained recently because the rocks can get pretty slick. In terms of difficulty, I'd call it moderate at best. None of the kids struggled at all with any of it. And the views are awesome. I understand why this is a very popular hike. Even if you have to keep searching for parking or figure out some other way to get there, I would highly recommend this hike. By the time we were on our way back down, all we could think about was food, and we didn't really want to drive all the way to Flagstaff. So we decided to look and see if Cornish Pasty had other locations, and found out that there in fact was one in Jerome, Arizona, which was a lot closer than Flagstaff. So we headed there, which was really fortunate because it turned out to be one of the highlights of the trip.
Time for dinner.
Wow. Has there ever not been snow on Mount Everest?
Okay, this is my favorite town ever. This place is awesome. We're in Jerome, Arizona, which is a mining town, a bit of a ghost town. It is crazy. It's on the side of a mountain. The main road, State Route 89, is like a 25-mile-an-hour road that just winds up through the mountain. It's these crazy switchbacks. And then there's this downtown in the middle of switchbacks going up a mountain. I've never seen anything like it. Well, that hike was pretty awesome. The weather was great. The views were great. Everything about it. The kids had a blast. Hard to believe tomorrow's our last day, but I'm tired and I need to get some sleep. So, good night. All right, good morning. It's our last day here. Tomorrow we leave very early. And I once again have meetings and we're out of coffee. I mean, I had enough to make 1 cup, but that's not nearly enough to get through a work day. We're gonna have to fix that. All right, for the last leg of the trip, we're gonna go with another recommendation from people at Canyon Outfitters, and we're gonna do the Mezcal Mountain Loop. I think about 5 miles, maybe 6 miles. Let's check it out. Okay, so after a week of fairly strenuous hiking, the kids are understandably tired and don't really want to do a 6-mile loop, and that's totally fine. So we'll call another audible, but it should still be a pretty fun hike.
I'm not gonna die.
All right, despite all the audibles, the kids did really well on the hike. So we're gonna take it easy, hit up uptown Sedona, and check out the souvenir shops, maybe try to find some ice cream. to leave, it's still quiet hours, so I need to be quiet. But we're tearing down the camper right now and getting ready to head out, so let's get moving. All right, we're only about 20 minutes behind schedule, and I take that as a win. I wanted to be out of here by 6. It's only 6:20. That's pretty good. Got everything done in a reasonable amount of time, and time to head home. It was a really good trip. Had a lot of good hiking, saw a lot of cool things, cool shops, good food. Now time to try not to go insane on the drive home. Anyway, thanks for watching our Sedona video. We had a great time. We really hope you enjoyed it and that it inspires you to take a road trip of your own. For more family adventures, you can click right here. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.